Hello learners, Quality Engineering and Management, Week 12, video number 39. The topic is on Direct Quality Cost, presented by myself, Dr. N. Venkateshwarlu, Associate Professor, Mechanical Engineering, School of Engineering and Technology, IGNOU, New Delhi. Objectives. Learners, after listening to this video lecture, you will be able to understand direct quality costs, explain categories of direct quality cost, understand direct and indirect costs, describe how the cost of quality is important to total quality. So these are the various objectives we are going to learn in this video lecture. Direct quality cost. Numerous factors must be managed well to compete in today's global economy. Quality offers strategic advantages and is one vital area in which a company must excel. Companies may also choose to emphasize cost efficiency, dependability and service, and flexibility to various degrees. From a strategic standpoint, direct quality costs are separated into categories of prevention, appraisal, internal failure, external failure. So these are the various direct costs. Each of these four categories are explained as follows. Prevention costs. So prevention costs relate to efforts to prevent failures. These are the costs that are incurred on preventing a quality problem from arising. These costs are associated with the design, implementation, and maintenance of the total quality management system. Preventive actions are to eliminate the causes of potential non-conformity or other undesirable potential situation. These planned costs assure the conformance to quality requirements at economic level. So prevention costs are nothing but which are the procedures to manage quality during the production process or design process. So for that some costs are incurred. These are known as preventive costs. Prevention of defects not to happen or preventive measures taken for not to happen the unconformity. So for that some costs are incurred. These are known as prevention costs. The subcategories are as follows. So in the prevention cost itself there are subcategories. The quality engineering, the quality is defined according to various dimensions that pertain to customer satisfaction. The consequences of poor quality include loss of market share, liability claims, a decrease in productivity, and an increase in cost. Determinants of quality are design, conformance to design, ease of use, and service after delivery. Quality engineering deals with the activities to direct and control on organization with regard to quality. This cost includes the activities associated with the creation of overall quality plan, the inspection plan, the reliability plan, the data system, and miscellaneous special plans. It also includes the implementation and maintenance of plans and includes the audit of the system. Design and development of equipment. The cost of personnel engaged in planning of measurement and quality control equipment. So these are also known as the quality costs. The quality planning by others. The part of quality management focused on setting quality objectives and specifying necessary operational processes and related resources to fulfill the quality objective is known as quality planning. Quality training. So training is the systematic modification of behavior through learning which occurs as a result of education, instruction, development and planned experience. The cost of the development, preparation and maintenance of training programs for operators, supervisors, staff and managers, both to achieve and maintain capability. So wherever the cost incurred to train the employees or all the employees on quality methods, quality techniques, these are also known as the quality cost. The other prevention expenses, which are this subcategory, includes the clerical, telecommunication, travel and supply costs. It is a general office management category, which are also comes under the direct quality cost. Then next comes to the appraisal cost. The appraisal costs related to testing, execution and examination to assess whether the specified quality is being maintained. Appraisal costs are associated with the suppliers and customer evaluation of purchased materials, processes, intermediates, products and services to assure conformance with the specified requirements. These costs are incurred to determine the condition of the product and assure that it meets specifications. The cost of appraisals are incurred for auditing service procedures to make sure they conform to prescribed work practices. In manufacturing, they include inspection, test gauges and test equipment and other expenses necessary to determine the condition of a product after it has been made but before it is released to the customers. These costs include checking materials furnished by suppliers in process and final inspection and test, maintenance of the associated equipment and the cost of materials used in the destructive testing. These are also known as a appraisal costs. Then internal failure costs. Internal failure costs arise due to internal failures such as cost results from a product or service failing to meet the quality requirement prior to delivery. Internal failures are those discovered during the production process. Internal failure occurs for a variety of reasons, including defective materials from vendors, incorrect machine settings, faulty equipment, incorrect methods, incorrect processing, carelessness, and faulty or improper material handling procedures. The cost of internal failures include lost production time, scrap, rework, investigation cost, possible equipment damage, and possible employee injury. These are all known as which are occurred in the industry itself. So that's why we are calling it as internal failure cost. The failure analysis. The cost incurred to determine the cause of product failure. So any product failure उसके लिए for this some examination takes place, that is known as a failure analysis. For that also some cost incurs. So that is the known as the internal failure cost. Reinspection. The cost of reinspection or retest of products that have been reworked. Fault of supplier. Unrecovered losses incurred due to failure of supplier material. These are the various internal failure costs. Then downgrading. So because of various reasons some products will be downgraded, or this cost is the price differential between the internal selling price and the reduced price because the product is usable but does not meet specifications. The internal failure activities are associated with the correction or disposition of defective product which is detected prior to its acceptance by the customer. So these are all downgrading or direct quality costs. Then external failure cost. External failure costs arise from the rejection of the products or services by the customers due to poor quality. So external means the ones we after producing our material reaches to the customer, they will reject. Because of that, some cost will be incurred. That is known as external failure cost. External failure costs are associated with defects found after items are shipped to the customer. Warranty costs, product liability suits, allowance for the defects, return items, and costs associated with handling complaints fall in the category. In a service business, this category would include the cost of errors and delays. External failure costs can be reduced by more rigorous checking, inspection, testing, which might increase internal failure costs as more failures are detected in-house. Direct and indirect cost. We can further divide the quality cost in the following two categories: direct cost and indirect cost. Prevention cost, appraisal cost, internal failure cost, and some other external failure costs are regarded as direct cost, while operating quality cost of prevention, appraisal are considered to be controllable quality costs, and internal failure and external failure costs are regarded as uncontrollable quality costs. Figure 13.5 illustrates the relationship between the controllable and uncontrollable quality cost curves and the combined direct quality cost curve. As the controllable cost of prevention and appraisal increases, the uncontrollable costs of internal and external failure decreases. At some point, the cost of preventing and appraising defective product exceeds the cost of correcting for the product failure. This point is the optimum operating quality cost. So here in this figure you can see that the optimum level it is occurred, that is known as optimum cost. Then indirect quality cost can be divided into following three categories: customer incurred quality cost. These include cost to the customer due to equipment downtime, repairing costs after warranty period, and transportation costs. Then customer dissatisfaction cost. Such costs arise because of customer dissatisfaction and as such are of attribute type. Such costs are high when defect levels are high and low when the defect levels are low. Loss of reputation costs. Because a product, so reputation gone, then we can incur various loss. That is because of quality. So that is known as loss of reputation costs. These costs are related to attitude of customers towards the company, because the lowering of a company's image or esteem in the perception of the customers, future sales are adversely affected. Hence, such costs are the costs arising from the foregone opportunities due to loss of reputation. The indirect costs are mostly intangible and are difficult to measure. However, they do affect the quality cost curve. The influence becomes apparent when indirect quality costs are added to direct cost curve as shown in figure 13.6. You may note that optimum point is moved to the right, which indicates the need for a lower direct level, and this can be attained by increasing the prevention and appraisal cost. Prevention and appraisal cost will lower the external failure costs. A lower external failure cost has a desirable influence on the indirect cost. Though the measurement of actual indirect cost may be difficult, the concept is still valid. A knowledge that such costs do exist can be useful in economic analysis. So loss of goodwill, the impact on reputation and image which impinges directly on future prospects for sales. External and internal failure produce the cost of getting it wrong. Order re-entry, unnecessary travel and telephone calls, conflicts are just a few examples of wastage or failure costs, often excluded. Every organization should be aware of the cost of getting it wrong, and management needs to obtain some idea how much failures is costing each year. Clearly, this classification of cost elements may be used to interrogate any internal transformation process. Using the internal customer requirements concept as the standard for failure, these cost assessment can be made wherever information, data, material, service or artifacts are transferred from one person or one department to another. It is the internal cost of lack of quality that lead to the claim that approximately 1/3 of all our efforts are wasted. So the relationship between the quality related cost of prevention, appraisal and failure and increasing quality awareness and improvement in the organization is shown in the figure 13.7. Where the quality awareness is low, the total quality related costs are high. The failure costs predominating, the awareness of the cost of the organization of failure gets off the ground through initial investment in training. An increase in appraisal cost usually results, as the increased appraisal leads to investigation and further awareness. Further investment in prevention is made to improve design features, processes and systems. As the preventive action takes effect, the failure and appraisal costs fall and the total cost reduce. The first presentation of the PAF model suggested that there may be optimum operating level at which the combined costs are at the minimum. The author, however, has not yet found one organization in which the total costs have risen following investment in prevention. The cost of quality is the difference between the actual cost of making and selling products and services and the cost if there were no failures during manufacture or use and no possibility failure. The quality costs usually are defined as cost incurred because poor quality may or does exist, the cost of not meeting the customer's requirements, the cost of doing things wrong. All activities that are carried out that are not needed directly to support departmental objectives are considered the cost of quality. Today, the three views of quality cost. Today, the view among practitioners seems to fall into one of the three categories. Higher quality means higher cost. Quality attributes such as performance and features cost more in terms of labor, material, design and other costly resources. The additional benefits from improved quality do not compensate for the additional expenses. The cost of improving quality is less than the resulting savings. This view was originally promoted by Deming and is widely held among Japanese manufacturers. The savings results from less rework, scrap and other direct expenses related to defects. This said to account for the focus on continuous improvement of processes in Japanese firms. Quality costs are those incurred in excess of the cost that would have been incurred if the product were built or the services were performed exactly right the first time. This view is held by adherents of the TQM philosophy. Costs include not only those that are direct but also those resulting from lost customers, lost market share, and the many hidden costs and foregone opportunities not identified by modern cost accounting system. One survey of 94 corporate controllers found that only 31% of the firms regularly measured cost of quality, and even in these firms productivity was ranked higher than the quality as a factor contributing to profit. Not surprisingly, the major reason for failure to measure these costs was lack of top management commitment. Philip Crosby of Quality is Free fame is of the firm opinion that zero defect is that absolute performance standard and the cost of quality is the price of non-conformance against that standard. His concept is catching on as more companies set goals such as parts per million, Six Sigma, and even zero defects. On the other hand, a goal of zero defect may be more costly than the payoff that might accrue. As one approaches zero defects, cost may begin to increase geometrically. Another of Crosby's principle, which he calls absolutes, is measurement of quality. The measurement of quality is the price of non-conformance, not indexes. Measuring quality by calculating the price of waste, wasted time, efforts, material, products, a monetary figure that can be used to direct efforts to improve and measure the improvement. The monetary figure, according to Crosby, is a percentage of sales and suggests that the standard should be reduced to about 2 to 3%. The measure has been generally accepted and many firms use it as a target and measure of progress. The user of quality cost information. Quality cost information can be used in a number of ways: to identify profit opportunities, to make capital budgeting and other investment decisions, to improve purchasing and supplier related cost, to identify waste in overhead caused by activities not required by the customer, to identify redundant systems, to determine whether the quality costs are properly distributed, to establish goals for budgets and profit planning, to identify quality problems. As a management tool for comparative measures of input-output relationship, example, the cost of reliability efforts versus warranty cost. As a tool of Pareto analysis to distinguish between the vital few and the trivial many. As a strategic management tool to allocate resources for strategy, formulation and implementation. As an objective performance appraisal measure. General Electric cost of quality system is increasingly emphasizing non-product features such as inquiry responsiveness, delivery times, and billing accuracy. The emphasis is on root cause analysis and process improvement, simplifying procedures and reducing cycle time and driving down quality costs while improving customer satisfaction. Internal and external systems measure performance versus customer expectations. These systems also track opportunities that have been lost by non-conformance to customer expectations. Activity-based costing attempts to collect information on financial and operational performance and traces the significant activities of a firm to process, product and quality cost. ABC can provide to be a highly suitable technique for TQM because it encourages management to analyze activities and determine their value to the customer. A 5-step process has been recommended by D.W. Webster for using activity-based costing to identify the cost of poor quality. Using ABC to identify quality cost. Identify all activities and results. Determine the activity costs associated with prevention and appraisal tasks and with internal and external failures. Identify the activities that benefit from prevention and appraisal activities and that cause internal and external failures. Assign the activity-based cost of quality as appropriate. Assign the cost of prevention and appraisal to the activities that benefit from prevention and appraisal. Assign the cost of internal and external failures to the activities identified as the root cause of these failures. Adjust the calculated cost of products and services to reflect this additional cost of quality. Conclusions. Learners, I hope you understood direct quality costs, categories of direct quality costs, direct and indirect costs, and how the cost of quality is important to total quality. Thank you.